Not bad, we're in the top 10.
Well, this race isn't for everybody.
I think it's going to be something really unusual.
So you're gonna just experience like total drop, probably the ultimate roller coaster, right? Going up, guys, going up. So I'm pretty nervous. 3599 Whiskey, we're gonna drop a skydiver out here.
Ready, set, go!
Got it, level. Oh, there you go, atta guy. All right.
Just a new stunt, you know, just something that's never been done before. And then basically I'll just start running over the side. And,
Running over the side from the top?
Yeah.
Are you nuts? He's ready, he's got both his hands free, signaling. He's gonna be on top of the balloon, folks, and run off the side. I just can't get over this, why he would want to do that. 4,200 feet, now he can jump at any time. He's obviously getting ready. There he goes, he went down the side. Oh, God! There he goes. Oh, my God! He just moved the whole thing. Damn, there's a cloud of dust out to the side. There he goes. Your parachute! Oh, he's falling straight down. He's God! There goes his chute. Oh, there it goes. His chute. Yeah! What we're doing now is driving to where we think he's going to land.
Sorry, folks. Sorry. What happened? Woo! I just brushed up against pine trees and laid it down and got one little tear from one nasty little branch up there, but no big deal. And that's the fun of ballooning. You never know what's going to happen. It's always an adventure, and this is actually a real good one. In my years ballooning, I've gone out and had some great adventures. I've flown over the Alps in Switzerland. The longest distance we went is 89 miles over the peaks of the Alps.
I flew for a company called the Bombard Society, which is a hot air balloon tour company that travels around Europe and flies people over the castles and chateaus of France, and the whole time you're treated to a first-class meals and accommodations along the way.
I flew in Aspen, Colorado. 4 elk right down there. See that white line of snow? See the light brown? I'm one of a handful of people to fly across the Grand Canyon. Being a balloon pilot here in the desert, it's one of the prettiest places on Earth. The terrain is so different than anywhere else. And there's saguaro cactuses, which are hundreds of years old, and they have needles all over them. So you can imagine the fabric of the balloon and dealing with the needles is kind of a challenge. The wildlife is coyotes and jackrabbits, and it's just spectacular.
The cluster balloon is rigged with me sitting in a harness. It's a harness that's made for paragliding, has a reserve parachute in it. This is attached to some webbing straps that go up to where the balloons are. And depending on what I'm doing, for some of my altitude record sort of things, I've had 72 balloons. When I'm just flying around for more for fun, I'm flying with like 48 balloons. These are 7-foot balloons. They're not really weather balloons. They're balloons that are sold basically for advertising purposes, like the ones that you see out in front of the used car lot. The first time that I did the cluster balloon thing, I carried a BB gun, a pellet gun, and found when I was at when I was about 16,000 feet, started shooting this pellet gun at my balloons and found that these balloons are actually fairly heavy duty, and unless you hit the balloon just right, you end up making a little BB-sized hole in the balloon instead of bursting the balloon. So I also carried, luckily on that flight, a knife, and since that point what I've been doing is pull down the balloon, burst it with a knife. By the time you're out of ballast, you better be on the ground, because after that your only choice is burst some balloons and hope you land somewhere good. Cloudhopper is a lot of fun for a number of reasons. First, you're out there, just hanging in the air. You don't have the basket around. You're just kind of floating there. It's a neat sensation. Yeah, the balloon has dragged me quite a distance at times. Probably 50, 100 feet. One thing that's fun to do with Cloudhopper is when there's a bit of wind and you're just kind of floating in on a field, you can go bouncing around, sort of moonwalking like low gravity. It's definitely more of a contact sport than regular ballooning is.
Most balloonists are adventurers at heart, and when you do something like this and the adrenaline's up so high and the risks are a little bit higher, it definitely is one of the most exciting things you can do. On a shotgun start like this, a lot of guys are going to start adding heat to it and standing it up. It'll come up with a spinnaker, which will cause the balloon to rock and roll and want to take off before it's ready. And we're going to have to really muscle the balloon into position and get ready to go, and untie the ropes and let it go.
Probably just like the other pilots, I'm concerned about having to land in the water.
As far as fears, sharks, of course, part of the Bermuda Triangle. Drowning is definitely a factor, because the balloon has mass to it when it's flying, so a high-speed wind landing in the water, there's a lot of ropes, there's a lot of gear, and if you've got entangled in it, you could go down. On a calm landing, the balloon could come down on top of you, and trying to swim with wet fabric pulling you down, that's also not a good situation.
Hopefully there will be no mishaps with people going in the water, but that would kind of be interesting to see if that did happen. Just hope it doesn't happen to me.
Flying over the ocean is going to be a lot trickier. We're going to have to, our crew's going to have to be on the other side. We're going to have a chase boat that's going to follow along so we can jettison some tanks or unnecessary equipment, and for safety in case we end up ditching it at sea. Never ditch it at sea, but I'm looking forward to it if I do.
The cluster balloon is a disposable balloon system. I don't expect to use it again. Therefore, if it goes in the water, it goes in the water. Tough.
The challenge of flying over the ocean, being able to be one of the few people to ever see the sea without seeing land on any side, I think that's going to be really exciting, and it's going to be something I'll remember for the rest of my life.
I think it's going to be something really unusual, something that we really haven't seen in a long time.
Man, I'm looking forward to it, because it's an adventure of a lifetime, and it's going to be a blast.